Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3 with me, Bregadon. Let's continue exploring the lower city.
Mercenary they may be, but father always demanded discipline from the Flaming Fist. Seems some grew unruly in his absence.
Should mind my step.
Will was definitely talking, but there are no subtitles for it.
We grasp the net. We embrace the cycle that has begun to its fullest degree. We must allow the mother of all plagues to burn this sickness from us all.
Hello, Umbrin.
Listen and submit to the mistress of disease. The cycle comes for us all.
The water cycle?
Talona.
Grundlegorn.
To let Talona.
We've got no choice. We have to do what he says. Gods, I don't want to die. Not now. Not here.
Leary Douse.
Gods. Be spouting a load of crap. Don't waste your time. There's always some weird god or another they want to piss about with. Madness.
Stormshore Tabernacle. I wonder if my old things are still there.
Oh.
They could be of use to you.
Oh, calm
Well, I'm excited
down,
to go
would you?
there.
It's all in your head. I could manage to get the flaming fist before people start chucking themselves.
Can't talk to that guy either. The second guy like that we've come across. Stormshore Tabernacle.
Stormshore Tabernacle.
Statue of Tyr.
You see an altar dedicated to Tyr.
Read what is inscribed on the altar.
Tyr, the blind god, offers justice to all, innocent and malefactor alike. The law dictates what is right, be that reward or retribution. Your knowledge of religion isn't extensive enough to tell you more.
Make an offering to Tyr. There you go, buddy.
Your offering is accepted, but more evidence of devotion is required.
Let's see if there's something specific we need to offer.
Wits and blades always sharp.
You see an altar dedicated to Tyr. Tyr, the blind god, offers justice to all, innocent and malefactor alike. The law dictates what is right, be that reward or retribution. His unseeing eyes are a testament to the lawful life he lived and what it cost him. Make a sacrifice out of your own pocket and you may yet be blessed.
Looking ahead.
You see an altar dedicated to Tyr.
If I have a stack, I get to select how much I... Yeah, we'll do, I don't know, 100 gold or so.
Your offering is accepted, but more evidence of devotion is required.
Well, I want to see what the blessing is. Let's do 1,000 gold. What if it carries over?
Your offering is accepted, but more evidence of devotion is required.
Alright, we're going to stop there. In progress essay. Thus, I wonder whether the following thesis might hold water. That as city life becomes more precarious, as the marching armies menace the borders, the people will turn not to the gods who allow this to happen, but to the dark entities who might have the power to stop it. I speak of the dead three, Bane, Baal, and Merkel. For when death threatens your door, who better than the god of living death to protect you? Is it not better to murder than be murdered? And through domination in its purest form, is not the dominator protected? I predict then, that the coming days will see a wave of conversion such as we have never seen before. Tymora, Lady of Luck. A list of oaths and saying that ought to incur Timora's blessing, granting the speaker good luck. 1. By Lady Luck's smile. 2. Turntable Timora, I invoke thee. 3. By the rolling of my dice, please let these results be nice. 4. Spin, spin, O fickle fate wheel. 5. Lady of the diamond glitter dice, mistress of good fortune, sovereign of luck, please have mercy on me, for frick's sake. The Hound in the Hand. The lawful god Tyr lost his right hand to Kizef, the Chaos Hound, a devourer of souls and one of the primordial evils. A coalition of gods hell-bent on taking down Kizef chased the Hound to the Barrens of Doom and Despair, and offered him a compact. If the Hound could break the chains made by the smith god Gond, the gods would dissolve their union and leave Kizef be. Kizef was skeptical, but he agreed, so long as Tyr put his hand in the Hound's mouth. Tyr looked upon the slavering jaws, each tooth as long as a spear. He agreed at once. Of course, Kizef had not accounted for the strength of the chain, which is rooted in hellish Osidus and blessed by the goddess of magic Mystra. Unable to break free, he bit Tyr's hand clean off, and Tyr sealed the bleeding stump, and walked one-handed forevermore, as if it were a badge of honor, which indeed it was, and of boldness and courage besides. That is based on the actual Norse mythology of Tyr. They bound Fenris the same way. But instead of a chain, they actually used a bit of ribbon. That's how Fenris knew it was a trap, because the dwarves had forged the ribbon. And the only way he would be bound by it was if Tyr, the only god who he trusted, put his hand in his mouth. And he was betrayed by Tyr. But Tyr determined it to be the just thing to do. The Soul Forger. Introduction to the Soul Forger. Dwarven myths are so engaging because the skeleton of their story is tied to a craft of the modern era. The bones are made of steel, iron, nickel, copper, a whole host of metals alloyed and superheated, and fused together at the joints of legend. Moradin, Soul Forger, Allfather, is said to have crafted the Dwarven species from the very core of the planet Abir Toro. By retelling this story, dwarves link themselves to the craft of blacksmithing. They have in one fell swoop tapped an ore vein of metaphor and discovered a seam of cultural import. For dwarves are not born so industrious, so stone-worthy, so clever at geology. Rather, unlike the growth of long bushy beards, it is learned behavior. Lessons of Helm. In this text you come across the bull-necked, hard-spined doctrines of the god Helm, as transcribed and interpreted by a paladin called Thou Shalt Not Suffer the Doom Herring to Live O'Reilly. He chose that name after being convinced that the Xanathar organization was not led by a many-eyed beholder monster, but by something called a doom herring. The doctrines are the usual religious fare, only mildly distinguished by Helm's focus on the provision and protection to those who need it, forming a shield of steel, as well as sympathy for the meek and downtrodden. The Layperson's Guide to Holy Exorcism. An instructional script for exorcists to read from when removing possessing spirits. Now, we understand that possession can be a scary and difficult time. It's perfectly normal to have concerns and questions about the process, but please keep them until the end. In the next minute or so, I'll perform a harmless exorcising incantation called Read as Appropriate, Dispel Evil and Good, Person Remove Curse Item. You'll have your Read as Appropriate person item freed from otherworldly influence in no time. So your beloved Read as Appropriate person item was recently exorcised. We understand this can be a difficult time.
and the courage
Oh, statue of Helm.
So may it be.
You see an altar dedicated to Helm the Vigilant.
Read the inscription on the altar.
Helm the Watcher is a guardian god, dedicated to the preservation of order. Many turn to him in troubled times. Your knowledge of religion tells you nothing more about the worship of Helm. You see an altar dedicated to Helm the Vigilant. Helm the Watcher is a guardian god, dedicated to the preservation of order. Many turn to him in troubled times. Make your donation to him and you'll likely feel more vigilant, more resilient to the unexpected.
I'm guessing that gives you the,
Long road ahead.
I forget what it's called. The effect that gives you a bonus to initiative and you can't be surprised. What if it's worth getting these blessings? Alright, a Charter of Tabernacle donations. Wish not to hide the generosity of the gate's gathered faithful. All donations are used in the upkeep of the tabernacle and payment of its staff. This worshipful season, Helm, 50,000 gold pieces, 9 cattle flock, a selection of precious gemstones, 16 severed eyes. Please note, offerings of Viscera are highly discouraged on tabernacle premises. A Salune, 47,000 gold pieces, a shipment of magic lamps, 3 parlor mirrors, alabaster, wrought iron, and silver. More candles than we've been able to count. Thanks to our flock's generous donations to the tabernacle's coffers, we're proud to announce a newly commissioned statue of the bountiful Tamora. May her luck be with you. It should be with you. The Screed of the Willing. The spine of this ancient book is cracked and broken, but its pages have kept a sharp, cutting edge. Honesty, love, wrath, many traits are divine. There's only one that we possess and the gods do not. Pain. Oh, we've read this one. That's old news. Non-denominational prayer of peace. An in-progress draft of a new prayer to cast across the entire pantheon. It bears the heavy marks of repeated revision. O ye gathered gods... No, too exclamatory. Hear my prayer, cast wide, O resplendent pantheon. Excuse me. Oh yes, much better. Offer it among the multitude for a reason. There cannot be true peace without godly accord. This city, this land, is besieged, under threat by a force that stakes a heretical claim to your divinity. Each and every one of you. History may well be marked by the clashes and bickerings of godly folk, but there is one fact upon which you must all agree. Yes, even you, Talos. Divinity is earned, not simply claimed. While heretics stalk this world and threaten your faithful, please broker even a mode of peace between yourselves. We need everything we can get. And all gathered faiths, hear our prayer.
These boots have seen everything.
Let's see this. A plea. I can... I don't want to steal it because I'll get in trouble. But I do want to read it.
Tempers are rising. It's clear not everything you find is at your disposal.
Yeah, but it was in the way. And it didn't help. Well, I might have to steal it if I want to read it.
How high? Moving.
Blessed Vicar, I beg your aid in a matter most grave. Some ill-meaning magus has afflicted my household with a series of hexes.
Your light fingers have attracted attention. It seems an explanation may be in order.
Hand it over.
Your contrition and the returned goods are enough to put things right. Just a simple misunderstanding.
And it's possible we could buy it from him since we did give it to him. But we'll see. Exile. The author of Gnome Father also penned this book. Much bleaker read. Exile is full of sections like this. And with his stony features wrinkling in a snarl, Landugware, god of the Dewergar, growled. You hounds and dribbling dogs, shall have you flayed, shall string lutes from your guts. Witty music shall fill my halls then. Hear me close, you mongrels and slobberers. Slavery is freedom. Freedom from difficult choice and from responsibility. When you enslave an elf, you enchain him to a bit of use, the simpering knife-eared slug. You make him worth a darn. Now throttle that morality of yours, and fetch me vassals. Gnome Father. We've read this one. Maybe. The introduction of Gnome Father reads like this. Most splendiferous, gregarious, and overall duplicitous of gods, especially for the gnomes who embody those attributes quite cheerfully, is Garl Glittergold. A favorite phrase deployed at gnomish parties and suppers comes from Garl's reply to the mad prophet Osterfeld, who promised Garl the moon, the sun, and all the glinting stars if he could only answer 3 riddles. Which Garl said, pull the other one. It has got bells on. Judge of the Damned. An excerpt from the book in which Ifigen Mogros discusses the strange theistic history of mortals becoming gods. There have been many lords of death who cast judgment upon souls lost and found alike. Among them was Kelemvor, a hard man of harder convictions. As a mortal man, he was a mercenary with the paladin's stoic beliefs hidden under a crust of scowls and grumbles. As Lord of Death, he was forced to mellow both aspects of himself, for the impulses of a man and god are not consummate. Mortals are allowed caprice, but immortality wears that stone smooth quickly. And Kelemvor chose cool prudence over cold malice. I believe we just read this one recently, right? Yeah.
Divine protectors of Baldur's Gate, hear this humble plea.
Seen the household prayer before.
Shield our people from the depredations of the absolute.
Dedications to the Pantheon.
Bless them with the strength to endure.
A scroll of basic prayers to major deities of the realms. Bahamut. Leave me blind to all but the true light of justice, O valiant one. Coralon. I bid my soul glide across the moon and the stars with you, Elfather. Elistray. Run thy sword across my chain, Silver Lady, that I may join your dance. Garl Glittergold. Grant me but a fraction of thy wit, sire. It is all one could need. Grumsh. Guide blade to gut, neck, and still-beating heart. Hear me. Helm. Keep my path in your unfettered gaze, Lord. I shall not err if you are watching. Ilmater. Until I can bear a fraction of your burden, sufferer, I shall. Kelemvor. Look not upon our sins, Master of Scales, but measure the worth of your most grateful dead. Ladugware. We walk amongst the filth and dreck. Let the harsh command of your eternal task drive our footfall. Lathander. I shall let all who dwell in dark feed your holy dawn, Morning Lord. Hear my prayer. Lolth. I spin thy web of chaos, Mother. I spin it in your name. Let not the threads unravel. Miliki? I guide my path as only you know how, in whispering leaves and slowing grassland. Moradin. Hold my hammering hand firm, my crafting mind steadfast, and the tools I form perfect in your image. Mistra. I guide into your weave my supplication and faith, and hope the magics I hold are pleasing to your eye. Ogma. Whatever I may say, you know already. Thus I'll speak our knowledge to those without it. Selune. Let your moon be my light, and I shall let my sword be your shining symbol. Shar. Mother of night, darken my step as I walk among the light. Hear my prayer. Talos. Hold me in your tempest, Stormbringer. Keep my strength to hand.
Divine protectors of
Tempest.
Baldur's Gate,
Mighty Foehammer, lend me your strength as I wage your righteous war.
shield our people
Tiamat.
from the depredation
Many mouths
of
speak your hunger into this world, mistress. Let me be the loudest.
with the strength to endure
Tamora.
and the courage
But a
to
glancing touch of your grace would befit me well, Lady Luck. Tyr. Let me be your eyes, blind one, to cast your justice upon this world. Blackith. Vlavlakith Chirki. Vlavlakith Tofki. Vlavlakith, can't say it the third time. Lashakla. Yondala. Fill my cup with plenty, mother. May it never run dry. I find Vlakith a bit odd because she's not actually a god here, and I wouldn't suspect to be worshipped in Baldur's Gate. Blessings for the refugees. May all who come to the city gates be well, be safe. Let them find safe harbor within the city walls. Let their loved ones stay at their sides. Let the children stay in their mothers' and fathers' arms. Mother of Halflings. This text is brimful with charming short stories concerning Yondala, the matriarch, protector, and sovereign creator of the halfling species. Here is one. Once there were a community of young pucks and prim, pretty halflings called the Lermalakes. There are none of them old yet, having only newly formed their community around being virile and strong, so all could contribute to the upkeep in tidying and fixing and mending, and so on. Halflings have a great many activities like that. So it was a big shock when an old woman came and asked to join the community. They told her she wasn't welcome, and when they turned her away, politely but very firmly, she went into the nearby woods. Now the Lermalakes could have known she was going to take shelter there, so don't think too badly of them. But take shelter she did. When the werewolf men who lived there came to rob the old woman, Yondala invested the old woman with knitting needles of impeccable swiftness. She knitted the werewolf men clothes that would expand to accommodate their monthly changes, and they escorted her back to the Lermalakes, who accepted the old woman, who took their lumps and scoldings too from the werewolf men. Not at all amused at the halfling's lack of sympathy for such a clever elder as this. Slune's devotee. We've read that one before.
Seluna, had life turned out differently, I might have been kneeling in prayer here.
Alright, Magical Histories Volume 1, The Origins of Mystra. I believe we've read this, or it could just be Gale's recounting that I remember. Lorethian. Introduction to Lorethian by Palmer Janasuga reads, it is no exaggeration to say that Coraline Lorethian is the primary figure of the pantheon of elves. It is said that his tears mingled with those of Sehanine Moonbow actually created elves. As in all myths, the physiological reverse oblation God gives to his people was interesting. The elven people were not formed from Coraline's hip bone, his throat, his testicles. Instead, they arise from an expression of sorrow. Some scholars frame them then as an antidote to his pain. Coraline was, at the time, experiencing loss and feelings of betrayal. More traditional thinking, here I quote the elven sage Afir Loquilin, places elves as sad as species can be. This rings truer for me. Life, after all, deposits its fair share of difficulties on those burdened with living it, and elves endure a long, long time. Alright, let's have Shadowheart look at the statue of Selune.
You feel the chill gaze of the Moon Maiden upon you. Seluna welcomes you.
Read that which is inscribed upon the altar.
An inscription reads, let all who worship the changing tides of life and knowledge feel the blessings of Seluna. Trust in the purity of my light. See the constancy in its inconstancy, and you will be guided aright. As a moon-bathed cleric, this is your moment to bask in her lunar light and imbue your spirit with her majesty and grace.
Let's get going.
You see an altar dedicated to Selûne. An inscription reads, "Let all who worship the changing tides of life and knowledge feel the blessings of Selûne. Trust in the purity of my light. See the constancy in its inconstancy, and you will be guided aright." Your scholarship of religion tells you no more.
One day I'll catch a break.
You see an altar dedicated to Mistra.
Yeah, read the words inscribed on the altar. I wonder if we should grab Gale. Go back and look at this.
Mistra, mother of all magic, is the patron of wizards and often called upon by other spellcasters as well. She's said to be a jealous goddess. Your studies of religion don't suffice to tell you more. You see an altar dedicated to Mistra. Mistra, mother of all magic, is the patron of wizards and often called upon by other spellcasters as well. She's said to be a jealous goddess. Even though you do not follow her, you feel her power resonating from the statue. She is the one true spell at the heart of all spells. The weave could not be in better hands.
Let's finish exploring, and then we'll grab Gale.
If not over, then through.
Cholula, loose in our city.
Alright, hear my prayer, please. A scroll scrawled with an unsteady hand. Look, I'm not sure about this whole divine thing. I don't know much about you lot, and I reckon you don't know much about me, on account of never praying before. Thing is, I don't want to die. Don't want my sheep to die either. This absolute thing on the horizon stinks. Not in the good way a sheep stinks, but the bad way that a corpse does. So if any of you are out there, can you fix it? Stop them, please. Thanks for listening, reading, whichever. Yours faithfully, Barney Pins. Prayer to Tempest. Lord of Battles, Foehammer, protect me in the battle to come. Let my sword ring true against the armies of the Absolute. Let me live to see another day. Gone and gripping life by the tongs. Did I get in trouble for reading that one? Guess we won't read it. A Statue of the Gods.
This altar isn't dedicated to a single god, but instead acts as a conduit to many. Your god is one of many, and in this place you sense a spark of its mighty divine flame.
Read what is inscribed on the altar.
It reads, "Show your devotion with an offering in your god's name. Blessings may follow."
Pay homage and honor to the gods of light and justice.
The gods are ready to receive your joyful donation.
Yeah, we don't have that much money to spare. Put 1,000 gold on this guy, and we got nothing. Alright, where's the guy that runs this place? I'd like to have a chat. Of course, he only shows up when I steal something. Oh, there he is. He's blending in with the party.
Well met, Oathsworn. Your faith may not be orthodox, but it's still welcome here. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day?
Oh, the Sacred Star. Reviving Hands, and Mantle of the Holy Warrior. Okay. So the Sacred Star is a +2 Morning Star. Grants Radiant Strike. On a hit, inflicts 1 turn of Radiating Orb upon the target. Sanctified Weapon. Undead creatures struck by this weapon are possibly turned. And Tenacity. As well as Dawnburst Strike. Deal additional radiant damage equal to your proficiency bonus. On a hit, light erupts around you in a 10-foot area. Enemies in the light must succeed a DC 13 Constitution saving throw or be blinded. The power of this item lies in belief, though not in any god. This item believes that it's very good at hitting things, so it is. Belief is quite powerful when it comes to violence. It looks really cool too. Mantle of the Holy Warrior grants Crusader's Mantle. This garment accidentally fell into the communal steam baths during the All Saints morning retreat and candlelit guided meditation. The Reviving Hands grants Aegis Palms. When you heal a creature, it gains the effect of Blade Ward. When you revive a creature, it gains the effect of Death Ward, and grants Revivify. Stitched into the lining is the phrase, "Yes, alright, stop moaning and get up." Okay, so this is an upgrade for Shadowheart.
What's next?
And I might grab this as well, because one of our cloaks is not very good. Well, before I do all that, let's probably get rid of that. Now, who are you?
I am Vicar Humbletoes, guardian of the Stormshore Tabernacle. I keep the peace in this sacred place and guide those in need.
What can I do here?
Here, clerics may commune with their gods, and even hear their responses, if they are so favored. I am also granted the power to provide holy resurrection through sales of revivification scrolls.
Are holy items available here for purchase?
Of course, my child. Within limits. Behold my wares.
Behold indeed. Not a bad weapon. And then Radiating Orb actually works well with... yeah, the Callous Glow Ring.
The pride of the gate.
Didn't we have a Cloak of Protection? Who did I give that to?
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Well, either way, go with this instead. Yeah, it's weird that it specifies all the different resistances versus just saying Blade Ward. Because when it's active, it just has Blade Ward beside the portrait.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Alright, a plea. We can finally read this. Blessed Vicar, I beg your aid in a matter most grave. Some ill-meaning magus has afflicted my household with a series of hexes. First, my eldest fell out of a tree and broke his arm. I thought nothing of it at first, but then my youngest broke her front tooth in the corner of her bed frame. What misfortune, I thought, when the very next day, I myself came down with a sweating fever so severe, I could not hold a clay cup without dropping it. Please, Vicar, do what you can, through the grace of Helm, to cure whatever curse has plagued my home. I cannot take another tragedy. The good wife Sutton. So I think Yen is talking about us, because he's supposed to appear as a cat to everyone that's not me.
Light on my feet.
We'll leave Will behind real quick.
Let's talk. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just when things were warming up. How can I help?
With pleasure. Lead on.
Mistra's idol stands before you as silent as the goddess herself. You're not sure what you expected. After all, she's not deigned to speak with you for some time. If your refusal to detonate the orb did not get her attention, perhaps pursuing the crown will. But until then, it seems you are on your own.
Yeah, probably wouldn't talk to somebody with a hat like that either.
Divine protectors of Baldur's Gate, hear this humble plea. Shield our people from the depredations of the absolute heretics. Bless them with the strength to endure, and the courage to resist. So may it be.
Oh, go grab Will, and next time we'll go to the Elfsong Tavern, which is probably the location I'm most excited to visit.
How can I help?
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
Breathe deep and move. Let's talk. That's the spirit.
I'm also curious about this hatch. Did I read the blessings for the refugees? I don't think so. Oh, we did. I wonder how mad it'll get if we lockpick it.
Welcome back, child of faith. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day?
What path lies before me?
Okay, so next time we might check out what's down this hatch, and then go to the Elsong Tavern. There's either a basement, or it's going to take us down to the sewers, which we have several other entrances to already. To the prison, we've seen a couple manhole covers, so.
What to do?
But we'll find out next time. For now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.